Hello there, welcome to another week in our garden. Now we've had a big storm overnight, a lot of wind, so we've got the remnants of it now, so do bear with us if you can hear the wind blowing a little. Now this week we're going to string the onions and we're going to take some cuttings, some softwood cuttings, but we'll start the week with doing stringing of the onions. Some of the onions are a bit too big for stringing, so these will have to stay in these boxes and then be used, and they're far too big, far too heavy. And some of them are the wrong shape. I don't know how we could really do some of them. The lovely onions, beautiful onions. Remember, if you've got big onions like these, they will take a little longer to ripen, so if it's a lovely day, pop them out in the sun for a bit, give them a bit of sunshine. Right, we'll start by stringing the normal onions, which are still a bit large this year, but we'll string them anyway, they'll be okay. This is the cord I use. I use 3 strings doubled with a double knot in the bottom, because you need a very, very strong knot, and then I hang it up. Now once it's hung up, you now have 6 strands. It's important to get that right, because it's no good filling up and then it's snapping because it's a bit weak. That will hold plenty, and then it's a case of opening it up and making a slip knot like that. Okay, that's where we'll start in there. We'll just show you the onions first. These are the onions I'll be using for this particular string. Now what I've done, they've all been cleaned. I don't clean them too much. I just take the loose skins off, as you can see, and any dirt, just rub that off. And then I grade them. I've got a big flat one there which I'll use in the bottom, and then we'll take them up in 4s. So put the biggest ones at the bottom and then slowly work up to the smaller ones at the top. They've all got the same length of neck on them, which is the distance of my hand. It was easy just to cut them off like that. So take 3 strands each side, put my hand through and just make a slip knot. There you are, you see. Now this will be for the big one at the bottom. That goes in as tight to the onion as you can, because it will try and pull out later. Pull it tight as you dare, let's put it that way. And then I feed the neck through, press it down nice and tight. We cut that off then, like that. That's the only one that I'll really cut. The rest will be twisted through the cord. Right, so that's how we begin. That's nice and tight, it's not going to come off. Then we split the cord into 3, but try and do it different to where you started, so it will not all be in the same gap. Just pop it in like that, you see. And then the easiest way to do it is to loop under the onion, back up and through one of the cords like that, and then give it a good pull. If any bits come off, don't worry. Then that's that ready. Let me take another one. What I do is I just pull my hand through them like that, just to make sure that, and then again through another gap. Remember, that's the bottom one. Sit him next to it, make sure it's sitting nice. Underneath, up and through one of the cords or the strings, and then press down nice and tight. Okay, then the next one, I just pop it there while I set up. Try and do it 3 and 3 with the cords, so you get in a good tight. Again, it's going to sit like that, so just pop it underneath again, then back up and through one of the cords. This is the easy bit. When you get in near the top, you got a lot of weight on, and quite difficult up there. Again, keep it nice and taut. Then the last one of the first 4. Again, just split your cords and then try and get the balance so it's balanced nicely round. The last one on, if you don't put it underneath, it doesn't really matter, as long as you go round the cord and through another one. Okay, so we'll take it round the cord and we'll put it through there. Look, we've started. They're nice and cozy there. Now we begin with the next line and putting it into the gap. Just before we go in more, if you want, you can cut these tails off, but I just took them down. They are, as long as they're dry, they'll be fine. Then we start again, 3 on 3. Push it through. Remember, this is going to be this one next time, look, so a little bit out. This one can go underneath because there's room, and then between the cords and lock. Okay, now we just carry on. Between the cords, try and get it different from the last one if you can. Again, it's going to be nice just there, look. I will go underneath with this one, there's room. Pull it up and then back through the cords. Again, the next one, through we go. Sit it down comfortable. Underneath again, there's room. And then through, put it back where it belongs. And put it through. And then the last one of this 4. In. Doesn't matter this one if you can't get it below, it doesn't matter. Just make sure they're all nice and tight together, and make sure you take it through the cords. It gets a little bit awkward now, and press down, keep it all nice and tight. There you see, it's all beginning. So I'll carry on now and finish this one, then we'll show you on the last layer at the top. Right, as you can see, it's taking shape nicely. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put on 5, and that'll give you 21 onions. And onions this size, there's quite a weight in it, so I don't think you'd want any more, unless you had a row of small ones at the top. So I'll continue now so you can see a bit clearer now. You have to watch as your onions spin, it'll twist your cord a bit, so you have to keep twisting it back, and then just pick 3 on 3 like that now, and put the onion through nicely in the gap there. You see, we know it's going to sit there, so it'll sit nice and tidy on there. This is the last one, so you slightly tilt it in a little bit, then take it under, then bank through one of the cords, you see, then that'll sit there until we tighten all up. The tails I just push down the centres. Right, this one's a bit short, so it'll be more difficult, but we'll have to get it in. So again, it gets very difficult splitting now because there's quite a bit of weight getting on the cords. So put that through, as you see, I check it so it's sitting nice. Then this one, with it being short, we'll just go round the top and through one of the cords at the side, you see there. Just pop it through there so it's got it nice and tight. That's not coming off now. Next one. This one is going to sit just here. So again, open the cords. Getting some weight on them now to take some opening, but as the weight comes on, so they tighten up. This one will sit lovely just there, look. So this one has longer neck on it, so we'll pop it underneath out the way, and then Can you see, look, just through the cords and pull down, and that's not going nowhere. So one more here, and that's that one finished. So we'll start, look, we'll open it up on the 3 piece if you can. If you can't always get 3 either side, don't worry. There's quite a weight on it now. And then just pop it through. Push your onions into position, not like that. Tighten that one in so it's nice and tighten it all together. And this is the last one, so we can go round the top. Open any up and push it in, and when you got it to that stage, give it a good push down so everything's nice and tight. Push the loose end in. So there you are. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4 is 20 plus 1 at the bottom, 21 onions. They're decent size, so they're good weight. They're on at least 6 cords, so everything's fine. I'll move this one to there, and then we'll set up for doing another red one. As you can see, these are the ones that we've done already. I've one more to do of red, and then have a few bits and bobs that I'll just put together for the last one that will be used first. I'm just grading the red ones out. As you see, they're a little bit dirty, but I'm not going to scratch too much off them. We'll leave, when they dry out, these top layers will come off anyway. Now, if you can see, I'm going to use that one for the bottom, and then I'm coming up in grades. If I grade them out ready, it makes it a lot easier. But looking down, I think that line is slightly bigger than that line, so we'll move that line over one, and we'll put that in there like that. Mustn't bang them too much, we'll bruise them. Now we have a nice even size down to the smallest ones. This one we're actually doing 6 because there's a lot of smaller onions in this one. We'll be able to get them onto the cord better. Now the cord is exactly the same, 3 and 3, and then hang it so there's a good 6 hanging, double knotted. Just hang it up on hook. I like mine down so I can work better at this height. Work on the height that suits you rather than trying to reach up. We'll do it 3 on 3, put a hand through and make a loop to take the first one. There you are, it'll come down nice and tight on the neck of the first onion. This is the first onion, nice and round this one, so we used it at the bottom. Close to the neck and let it pull tight. Okay, tighten it up really tight. There you go, and then through one of the strings, tighten again, and then this we cut off. Just cut off to about 1/2 inch, and then press it for home. That's nice. It's having a spin. Right, now we start with these 4 and work down the sizes, so we finish up with the smallest ones at the top, which actually makes it look nicer as well. They're not the cleanest of onions, but they're good onions. Again, split it 3 for 3. It's easy at the bottom, remember it gets a bit more difficult to get to the top. Put the onion through, don't drop it, and take it down so it sits comfortable on the other onion, underneath and through one of the strings so it holds nice and tight up. There you go. That little tail I leave on. The second one, try and don't go through that same hole if you can help it. Go through a different, make a different slip into it, not like that. 3 and 3 if you can. If you can't, it doesn't really matter. And then make sure it's sitting nice and comfortable on top. Look. Again, we've got plenty of room now, so we'll just pop that underneath, bring it up and through one of the strings. When the weight comes on, these will be really, really tight. And just tuck that down. Another one. If you're looking at them, there was no chance we could have done those big onions like this. I've never held them. Under again, through one of the strings, or more than one, whatever suits you, and then push it down nice and tight. Remember, that's the 3, look, so we want that one now. That one's going to sit on there, so what we'll do is trying to open the strings up so it's different than the last one, and put that one through. There you are. Keep them quite tight down, not too tight because you'll break the necks, but and this one, because it's the last one, it will not get it under, so we'll go round the top and through one of the strings, if I can get one there, look. And then what I do, I just pinch it and push it down like that. That can be tucked down between, and then we can start building the next one. Again, so we'll start here, look. 3 and 3 if you can. Now always look at your onion, make sure it's sat nice and square on. It's no good pulling it right in there, because it'll, by the time the other 3 are on, they'll be out of place. So just try and get it on top of the other onions, and then through, look, and see, and that tail can be pushed in. If the tails are dry, they're perfectly alright. Then when we want these off, we'll just open them up and cut the onion away, and it leaves the rest intact. Again, it's going to sit, it will sit on there, so we need it nice and round and square in, and then underneath, and then through there. Another one. We'll do the same as we did on the last one. I'll do this one, then I'll pick you up again when we're near the top. Okay. Again, make sure the edges are tidy. Go under if you can, and then between, and then just push it in nice. This will be the last one for this run, and then 3 on 3 if you can, onion through, space it nicely so it looks nice on there. This one is top one, so we'll just go around the top and through, and then just press down nicely. As you can see, it's taking shape. I'll carry on if you like, and I'll pick you up at the top. Now I'm just going to pop the last 4 on to show you this one finished. This one we've gone 1 extra because the red ones have got a lot smaller, so we'll put these on as a 5. 6 is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put this one on as a 6. I'm getting quite a weight on the cords now. There we go. Make sure it's sitting nice there, look. Underneath and through one of the cords. It really does bite it tight now with the weight. Don't push it down too far yet, look, because we're not quite ready. Same again. Open it up. Through you go. Put it there, about there I think for this one. And then through. Oh, Quite a weight getting on them, so difficult to pull open. I'll have to do it this side so I can see to pull the flex open. Oh, this is hard. This one pop underneath up like normal, and then through one of the, if we can pull one off, very very tight now, and through it goes. Look, do you see it? And then just put it a little bit tight, don't pull them down tight yet. And then the last one for this string, 3 on 3 if you can. If you can't get 3 on 3, don't worry too much, but at least 2. And then this one, because it's the last one, we can go round and then through, put that down nicely and just tighten the whole lot down. There you go. That's that one done. I'll just lift it onto its hook and take this string away. Very very heavy now. Make sure when you are hanging them on these hooks, they are heavy duty hooks. Don't put them on cup hooks, they'll just snap off. I'll move that out of the way. There you are. That's nearly all of our onions, except for the very large ones, strung this year. And don't they look good? Now that's the onions all nicely strung. Not quite all, we can't do the big ones. Now if it's a nice day, I shall bring them out of the shed and hang them in the sunshine. Likewise these big ones, I should pop those out in the sun, and the sun will help them mature and ripen. Do take a little longer, don't forget the big one. So that's our onions nicely strung. There is a few more in the shed, you know, odd bits that didn't quite suit to do. What I should do is put those in a tray and they'll be used before these. These will last us right through to next year now. All I do is occasionally when I walk in the shed, I just give them a spin and have a look up and down. Any that's got markings or bruises coming on them, I just pop the scissors in and cut them out. Make sure you put them in a nice airy frost free place. My shed is ideal for them and they last right through till next year, easy. Okay, hello there. Friday today. I'm stood near the shed under the grapevine with my head in the grapes today, because we're going to do some cuttings on this table. So the grapes are looking very good. Now we're going to do some cuttings today. We'll do hydrangea, geranium, trailing fuchsias, upright fuchsias and some Softwood, just to start the ball rolling. I'm using cell trays. These have been used before, so all I do, I mix some disinfectant in a bucket and pop them in. Do remember though, if you have disinfecting them, to give them a rinse afterwards. What we're using is a peat-free compost. I put in some horticultural grit sand, about half a bag went in there, that was all I had left. Also some potting grit. Usually I buy my grit and sand in big bags, but I couldn't get any this week. I'll have to go to somewhere else and get some. Little bit more expensive in the small bags, but I really did need it. Now as you can see, the compost is standing a little bit dry at the moment. I will water when we finish doing the cuttings. I've put the compost in and just firmed it a little. Watch your corner ones, make sure they've got plenty in, and that's nice and firm but not too firm. We use the rooting hormone powder, as you like to call it, but remember, always decant a little bit first. Don't use it straight out of there because that's evaporating, so what bit of good's in there will be gone. We're doing some hydrangeas first. We had a little bit of a request, so I'll do some hydrangeas. These are the softwood cuttings of the hydrangeas, as you can see. messy bits off first. Look. I'm actually going to strike the root from this bottom one. So craft knife and then cut through just the normal, like we normally do. Now these leaves, too many leaves there, so we take those off as well. Okay, we'll half these leaves, you don't want all that on them. You see, now we'll come back and we're just going to, because I cut that off with the secateurs on the bush, I'll just clean that off now, look, you see. Then because it's still wet, you can go into the hormone rooting powder, and then let's put it in this one. Make a nice hole for it, quite deep, and then push it in. You see, make sure that there's compost all the way down to the bottom. Let's do another one for you. We'll do 5. So this one we're going to root on this node here. Okay, there, but we'll take these off first so you can see then. Okay, and there's too much leaf there, that'll just wither and die. So just take it off nice and clean, just like that, and then we'll go back to our original node and cut through just below. I use a bit of old scrap wood, then I can throw it away and get another piece next time. Again, make sure it's not hung. Again, we'll speed up a little bit now. So we'll do, let me just remove that so you can see. We'll take it from this node here. It looks a bit short. No, we won't. We'll take it from that one because that'll be too short there. Look, there'll be no energy there. So we'll take the leaves. There you go. Take those away. Half again. Over half. Take away. And just underneath that. There you go. And into the powder. Into the compost. This will want watering immediately I've finished. Now this one is going to be a short one. We had to take what was available, so you can see it's very, very short. There is the staggering of a node there, but it doesn't look very good. So we'll take it on this one. Get rid of the leaves. Now these are a lot smaller leaves on this one. There's a bit of damage on that one, so we'll take that off. And again, look, there's a bit of damage. Normally on a leaf that small it wouldn't be a problem. And in it goes, nice and tight. And one more. This one's a bit of a bent one that we got this time. We'll take it on this one. Get rid of those leaves so you can see. Right, we'll turn this over, it would be easier for you. We'll take that off, and that off, take those away. These little bits of leaf, just tear those off. Turn it upside down, strike that across, strike that across. And then we'll go under this node, you see. Cut, powder, compost. It's a nice, very, very open compost. And that's the hydrangeas done. No. I don't know if you can remember a few weeks ago we took some softwood cuttings. These are them that we took. There's 2 more trays over there, but I got this one because it's a hydrangea one. Oh, you can see they're growing. I lost one, that's fair enough. There's new leaves growing and I'm sure there's roots. Rosemary's always growing well. Escallonia has taken very well. And a bit of euonymus there that's doing well. But I just thought I'd show you these to show that they do root even though they're very small. Now we've cleaned the bench off, we'll do some geraniums. Same compost. And the geraniums, this is a very pretty one. This is a new one with us this year. You can see there, it's a bit battered with the weather, but it was a beautiful colour, so we've decided we're going to propagate this one. Now the colouring on the leaf, this is because of this cold weather we're having at the moment. They should be this colour, but they're this colour. That's no problem at the moment. Now if I want to get some more cuttings off these geraniums, which I will, as the tomatoes are coming out of the greenhouse, I should take the pots of geraniums in and put them in the greenhouse just to bring them on a little, and we'll get loads more cuttings off them then. We take that off. I'm just taking the flowers off, as you can see. Now these little leaflets or leaflets, whatever they're called, on the sides, I will remove those as well, best you can. There you go. Look. They tend to go off pretty quick, and then the mildew will get in, so if you can get them off, do get them off. You won't get every one off. We're actually going to take the cutting from this joint here, so I just want to clean it round nice and clean. I won't be reducing these leaves because that one's got a bit of cold on it, so we'll keep it at that. Same way, we'll go under a node. You could go there, but you'll have too much sticking out the compost, I think. Clean under the node. Into the rooting powder. A nice hole. In it goes. Make sure it's not hung cutting. And press it down. Nice and tight. Same again. It really is taking the weather, this one. So the leaves on the geranium, you can just snap off. No need to cut those off. That flower, look, will take off. Try and get those leaflets or leaflets. There is a proper name for them, but I can't remember it. There you are. Now this leaf is a bit battered, and so we'll take that one off. They're fine. Look, there's a little flower coming on there, look. You see, we'll take that off. All the way. There we are. And then we're going to, if we can clean these bits off. Got to be patient. And then we'll cut just below that node, okay? There you go. And then in it goes. One of the main problems with geranium cuttings is that you tend to overwater them. So try and keep them as dry as you can to get them rooted. We don't want a lot of growth this year anyway. Same again, this is a very, very small one, but it will grow. Just clean that off so it don't go rotten. There you are. I'm going that short on it. And I'm sure that will grow. Not too deep. There. That's all of that new pretty one, so that's why I took that one, because it is on that. You'll probably find that your geranium cuttings look like this. This is as they come. I would say with its deep markings it's either a red or a salmon, but I will check. We'll take the cutting from here. So you can see really these things that want taking off now. Okay, what you do is you just strip the bottom off so you can see a bit clearer. Flower there, look, we don't want that. That we don't want. Now you can see them. If you just leave these on, they'll be the first things that rot and get your plant rot in there. So we try and take those if we can. Very, very difficult, but we will. Alright, we've cleaned the leaflets off. We'll just cut underneath there, look, you see. in and into there. I'll take one more, I'll do it in my time, and then you'll see how to do it, okay? So there you are, that's a line of geraniums. So we've done the geraniums, now we'll take some Sophinias. We all buy Sophinias every year, but they quite easily take cuttings off and they will keep through the winter, just like the geraniums. So what I want you to watch for are the new growths coming out. They're the ones. You always get a few this time of year on the side shoots, so if you look for those, we'll take them in there. There's another one there, look, that's doing rather well. We'll take that one. That one is not going to root, that's why I brought it up to show you. If you get this, that won't root. Okay, it's geared up to flower and that's all it will do. You really need to look for this new growth. So that won't root. That's got new growth on the top, so that will root. And that one will as well, you see, you've got this nice growth. Now Sophinias are a bit sticky, so you have to be a bit careful with your knife on these. The normal way, look. Let's see. Just take some leaves off. We don't cut any leaves on these, they're only small anyway. Then we go under the node, and if we find my stick we'll pop them in. We'll do a couple and then we'll do some fuchsias. But if you got a nice Sophinia, do take the cuttings and keep them through, they will keep through. There's actually two on this one, but we'll take one of them for now and then we'll do some fuchsias. So I'm going right down the bottom to release it. They are sticky. Again, now those two leaves are stuck together, we need to know why. Oh, it's just a plant nut, there's nothing in there. Now let's get these leaves off and get it taken. There you are. Try not to leave too much at the top. If you leave it too heavy at the top, the cutting will shrivel rather than root down. But if you've got nothing at the top, then obviously it won't want to root. You usually find that most things want to root, so if you had them in the greenhouse and it fell on the floor, it would root quite quickly. There you go. I should put the Sophinias to one side for a moment, because I really do need to show you some fuchsia cuttings. I want to do some trailing ones in this tray and some uprights in that tray. These won't be wasted, by the way, they're too precious. Now these are the upright or bush fuchsias that I've taken around the house and everywhere. They're all mixed. What we think is the fuchsias that we have in our pots and baskets are the best for us. So any cuttings from them are bonus, because we will keep the plants through the winter anyway. So I don't actually run to name, I run to the plant. As you can see, there's two different varieties there, look. Another one there. Now these are upright fuchsias. By the time we come to pot them next year into the pots and troughs, they'll all carry flowers anyway, so we'll know what they are. Now fuchsia's quite simple. You just reduce the tops like that. There you see, and take off. Get my stick. Now I'm going to put the upright ones on this side. I've got a label ready. Make sure they're nice and firm. You've watched me do it a few times, so I'll do it at my pace so you can see how really easy they are. Right on the wrong leaf, that one. Just one more for you, then we'll do some trailers. But the quicker you can do it, the better it is to get them, especially to get some water on them as well. There you are, look. And there. That's a good cutting, that one. And in. So that'll be the upright or the bush fuchsias. I will finish that whole tray with those. Now we'll just do a few trailing fuchsias. As you can see, they're all different. We won't use that one. I don't know if you can see that. There's some rust marks on that, so we'll reject that one. That one's nice and clean. We'll use that one. We'll do three different types if we can. There you are, there's 3 there. And I'll do them as I would, and then now you can see there's little side shoots on there, so we'll leave those. These are trailers. If you take them off, you take them off. And again, I don't know if you can see this, it's very, very small for my big hand. You see? Only little small leaves, so we won't reduce those, and not too tight on that node, remember. And then I'm going to put these in a different tray. And the next one, this is where there's paint in the house and we got a bit of splashing on them. Now this got big leaves, so we're going to reduce them a little, you see. Don't want too much leaf up there. Good sharp knife, that's the thing. So one more then, and that'll be, let's have this one, you can see it better with it being yellow. Right, if you're taking the branch, always remember we're going to take it on that one, but cut it there, then we know it's safe up there, okay? So the bottom 2 we don't want anyway, so you just whip those away. Take those 2 off. There's enough at the top, so we don't need to reduce. Cut into the powder, not too much, and then into the tray, and nice and tight. These will require watering as soon as they're finished. Put the label in to say they're trailers and they're bush or upright. Now I'll finish these few cuttings off, won't take me long, but I needed to stop when we did, else the video would be too long for you. Now I hope you've enjoyed how to do cuttings. Do try them, and next week or maybe the week after, depending on the weather, we'll lift all the geraniums and the fuchsias and the Softwoods and the bacupa, etc. that we want to keep through the winter, which is mainly all of it, saved buying. And I'll show you how to mix up a nice compost with loads of grit and sand in it and dry to store them through the winter, the same as we did last year, but we'll show you again. That'll be about it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do try these cuttings and do have a go at stringing the onions. You'll enjoy doing them. And next week or the week after, when we're doing the potting, we'll show you everything hanging in the shed with the apples and everything in storage, so you'll be able to see how we're going to store the crops. So as I said, it's Friday today, so that'll be about it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. Many thanks for those people that subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye now.